welcome CEO of Geltrude Business Technology Solutions, Michael Geltrude. Michael, good morning. Nice to see you again. Okay, so Visa has referred to the lawsuit as quote-unquote meritless, arguing there's an ever-expanding universe offering new ways to pay for goods and services. Michael, what do you think becomes of this lawsuit, and is it possible we'll see a reduction in transaction fees?
Alex, I don't even call them transaction fees anymore. They're really just taxes. They're the new taxes of the 21st century. Every time you swipe a piece of plastic, you're paying a transaction fee. 3%, 4%, 5%, whatever it may be, it adds up. Last year, Visa collected $7 billion in transaction fees from consumers, and we're all paying for that. So I think the Department of Justice absolutely has a reason to investigate here because, as you mentioned, 60% of debit card transactions are going through their payment system, and that's really concerning from a monopoly standpoint.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you pay online, you'll get a warning from a company that says, hey, if you use a credit card, there's a fee that comes with it. Yeah, so I'm glad this is potentially going through here. So the U.S. consumers becoming increasingly less confident in the economy, and no surprise there. So with the Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Index sliding from 105.6 all the way down to 98.7. So the decrease coming as Americans grow more wary of income and the labor market. Michael, I mean, it represents the biggest downward shift since August of 2021. Do you believe this will impact the election?
Yes, it'll absolutely come into play in the election here. We talk about this all the time. People are just not that confident in the economy right now. And that reflects people's feelings when they go to the grocery store, when they get their paycheck. That's all being reflected in the market as we see it. And as the consumer confidence is going down, so is the market. And we're really seeing that the Fed is trying to make an adjustment here with interest rates. They're trying to lower them to jumpstart the economy. But I think people can see through that, and I think the average American will also realize, as the Consumer Confidence Index is reporting, that people just are not confident about what's going on and what they're seeing, and I think it will be reflected in November.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We don't even need a survey. We don't need an index. Go to the store. You know, your eyes are not lying. You're seeing how much more you're paying for everything. Finally, Michael, really quickly, so Coca-Cola announcing its plan to pull its spiced flavor from the store. So the company discontinuing the product, which was actually meant to bring up sales among Gen Z consumers after just 6 months. Now, Coke has not listed an official reason for removing the product, but purchasers were apparently confused because despite the name, it wasn't spicy. And the company this month actually released a limited edition Oreo flavored drink. So the spiced one was actually supposed to be a permanent flavor. And Michael, when I looked it up, it's raspberry flavored. So I have no idea why they called it spice. The marketing was very odd, but adversely, the Oreo flavor apparently is really good. Everyone seems to really like it. Do you think the company will have an easier time selling this Oreo flavor?
I do think they'll have an easier time selling it. First of all, who named the spicy flavor in the first place? As you said, it's raspberry, and that sounds great to me. I think they had the right product, but the wrong name. And the reason I believe they had the right product is that they've been testing it on us all along. You go to the Coca-Cola Freestyle machine, raspberry is an option, and people were selecting this over and over again. So they said, why don't we just can it and sell it? And I think that was the right approach, but again, I don't know who named this thing. I think they were just trying to be really cool and fun, and they were like, let's just call it spicy. Wrong approach, right product.
If they liked the raspberry flavor, like you said, just call it Coke Raspberry. That would have made so much more sense. Michael Geltrude, you know, you weren't actually on with us for a little bit because you welcomed your first child. And again, we hadn't talked to you since we spoke to your dad, Dan, and congratulated him. So we want to make sure that we congratulate you on having your first child, Michael.
Thank you very much, Alex.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. All right, everybody, up next, the DO